Mantra. Let's dive into the Mantra crash. We've seen a lot happen lately. The Mantra team are trying to deal with it. There's been a lot of, a huge evolution in terms of everything that's been happening. So we're going to dive into what is going on. Now, before I get into any of that, guys, if you're new here, this spreadsheet shows the first 26 coins that I did videos about on the channel. In the videos, I showed myself buying up all of these coins. These were cryptos I thought could do very well, make a lot of money. Now, you can see what they were all worth when I recorded my videos. These are the highs these cryptos hit around about 16 months on. And these are what your profits would have been if you'd have popped $100 into these coins when I released the videos and sold after the 16 months. In that time, you'd have made over 123 grand. Now, look, Bitcoin is going to go to new highs this year. We're going to see altcoin season kicking off. If you're not happy with the coins you own or you don't own any, get onto copymycrypto.com now and just have a look through the site. That's the site I run where I share all the coins I own with my members. When I'm ready to buy or sell any coin as well, I tell my members the coin that I'm going to buy or sell and the price that I'm going to buy or sell at. So all my members get in and out of cryptos at the same price as me, meaning they make the same profit and they don't have any work to do at all. Now, if you go onto the site, you'll be able to see some of the profits my members have made. You'll be able to see some of my past successes. All of these are public record. You can verify them all on the history of this channel. And if you like what you see after you've read through it all, after you've watched the videos, after you've verified everything, and you want to hear more, whether you want to hear the daily market updates I give my members, or whether you simply want to know about the coins I think are going to be the winners in this bull cycle, all you've got to do to find out about any of it is join up on the site, guys. Now, Mantra. So a lot has been happening. As we can see, price down 12% today, but huge drop off. And I mean, realistically, we're talking about a massive kind of collapse. In the last month, or in the last 7 days, we can go 7 days, it's dropped 90%. It's a massive drop. So we've got to have a look at what has been happening. So there's an investigation that's obviously happening. Why is that doing that? Right, there we go. So we'll dive into it, right? So, Mantra, by the way, before we just jump straight into everything. So it's a security-first, real-world asset layer 1 blockchain. It's capable of adherence and enforcement of real-world regulatory requirements. It's built for institutions and developers. It was built using the Cosmos SDK. It's inter-blockchain communication protocol compatible. And really the idea behind this is, again, start to unlock that real-world value of assets, because a lot of money is left on the table. That's the reality. You look at a house and the underlying value of a house, say $250,000, and it can't be used beyond the actual real estate industry, right? Maybe you can, remove some equity to reinvest into a new house. Maybe you can rent it out. Maybe you can run, a B&B, whatever, right? Or Airbnb. There's specific ways you can bring value out of a property, but in terms of the blockchain, there are far more efficient ways. Now, there is always the consistent question around real-world assets is how is that going to work in terms of if, say, collateral got highly damaged, right? Would the underlying real-world asset have to be taken? There's lots of interesting questions in and around this. But Mantra had a lot of investors, and it has over 126,000 holders. When we look at Mantra, it was backed by Kinetic Capital, it was backed by X Network. They raised a lot of funds when they were building this. And the founders are John Patrick Mullin, Will Corkin, and Rodrigo Juan Miranda. All have very, very good backgrounds. Now, Mantra are launching an investigation into the token price drop. It was a 92% drop. So basically what ended up happening were, according to, this is the official story, right? Forced liquidations and low trading volume caused a sharp price decline. The team announced a token buyback, a burn initiative, and transparency to support holders. So basically they're launching an analysis of what happened, because basically on one day it dropped 92%. The sudden drop caught token holders off guard, raised alarms due to its unprecedented nature. We've not really seen this happen very often in crypto. Of course, it happens, but people were panicking about, is it a rug? People were panic about, is it a scam? And the Mantra team initiated an investigation to determine the underlying causes of the price movement and to confirm the current circulating supply of the tokens. This was to address the community concerns and reinforce the market's future stability. So the investigation. So if we jump into it, we'll see exactly what their investigation, or what they concluded from their investigation. To be fair, their investigation remains ongoing. Committed to sharing verified information in a clear and timely manner. We'd like to thank our community, etc., etc., etc. So you can have a look at what people are saying. There were no sales by the Mantra team during this period of market distress. Wasn't this already proven wrong, or was it sales of OM were proven right before market distress? Scammers. You see, this is it. Thanks for dropping it. Really has been a masterclass by the Mantra team on how to handle a crisis. That person's very happy. Great work by the Mantra team. Too late for apologies. People lost their money. Yeah, not clicking that URL. What does this tweet say without long-winded fluff? Can you comment? Why not scammers explain? Responsible persons. Right. And this is it. This is it. So like, there's a lot of community stress, as you would expect. A coin, you got an investment of say 10 grand, you've lost 9,200 worth of your investment, right? It's a big drop. The total value locked has boosted 500% as investors have rushed to buy and stake the OM token. So after the massive crash, their total value locked rose dramatically and reached 4.21 million. In a sudden spike as investors rushed to buy the token at a discount and stake it on the protocol for their rewards. After playing with the OM trade data for hours, there is one thing that is very odd. The spot market never saw any aggressive panic. They did the opposite when combining data from OKX, Bybit, and Binance. There was over 35 million USD of OM purchase within the 2-hour window. The growth, yeah, I mean, it's a really odd thing. It's a really odd thing. One thing that has happened as well is the team have burned a ton of their tokens. I saw the one of the founders announcing that. But yeah, it's been an absolutely, I mean, it's a catastrophic drop from where it was. And the investigation is going to continue. That level of decline is so unusual. It does scream like something went wrong, like dramatically wrong. I mean, again, it's saying forced liquidations by centralized exchanges. That is what has been said by the co-founder and CEO. He explained that this decline was not due to any actions by the Mantra team, but was instead caused by reckless forced closures on centralized exchanges where the token is traded. He pointed out that the crash happened quickly and without warning, suggesting that the exchanges themselves acted carelessly. So he is having a go at exchanges. That, by the way, not necessarily the best thing to do. Exchanges give you volume. If it gets to as a way to handle this, I would highlight, if you start getting in a back and forth with some big exchanges, they will delist you. There's no reason for them to they can act in that fashion. They're not beholden to a token. And if they get in a back and forth with Binance, we're going to see the token drop a lot more. So I would be cautious about that. Now, very unusual situation. Very, very unusual situation. We've not seen things like this very often. As we said, the token had that big price decline on around the 13th. If we go back to the 13th, we can see volume spiked dramatically, $500 million in volume, real fast. In fact, over a couple of billion across that day. Is this going to recover is a big damn question at this moment in time. I would assume that there is going to be a recovery here, but there has to be a conclusion to this investigation. Right now, a lot of people are fearful of this being a scam. A lot of people are fearful of this being a rug pull. A lot of people are fearful of the team having just sold off a bunch of their stuff. And if that is proven to be the case, they're going to lose a lot of investors. We don't really understand as of yet what has caused this. There are a lot of different people speaking on this. And again, there's a lot of dissenting voices. There's a lot of people saying rug, a lot of people saying scam. The team themselves are saying this is a centralized exchange issue where they've forced liquidations. That would be, again, that in and of itself would be rather unusual. We haven't seen a coin drop so much because of centralized exchanges forcing liquidations. So this is a really unusual situation. It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. I expect that we'll see a conclusion to this investigation by the end of sort of April. The question is can they recover price before that? Can they get back investor confidence before that? I would argue that they probably will. Well, they'll certainly lose a ton of investors because anyone that loses 92% of their money probably won't invest again. You know, there's a reason Terra 2.0 hasn't recovered like it back to the highs of what Terra was. Again, I'm not drawing comparisons in the sense of this is a rug. There is no evidence of anything right now. We're waiting news more and more and more on this. But if you are a mantra holder, I know how you're feeling. If you're a mantra holder, what have you heard? What are the community saying? How do you feel about the team's response to this situation? Are you optimistic that this is going to come back and rally back? Are you concerned? Like, what are your fears? What are your specific fears? Obviously, the fear is just it goes to zero kind of deal, right? What's your fears? What's your hopes? What do you think how do you think this is going to play out as a mantra holder? If you're not a mantra holder, but you've seen some stuff, share what you've seen, right? This is a really interesting, unusual situation, particularly if you're neutral that isn't invested. So share your thoughts in the comments. And guys, look, we're in a bull cycle right now. If you're not happy with the coins you own or you don't own any, get onto copymycrypto.com and have a look at the site. If you go onto my site right now, you'll be able to see some of the profits my members made. You'll be able to see some of my past successes. These are public records. You can verify them all on the history of this channel. On the site, I share with my members every single coin I own. When I'm ready to buy or sell any crypto, I tell my members the crypto that I'm buying or selling and the price that I'm buying or selling at. So my members get in and out of coins, same price as me, so they make the same profit without any work at all. Read through the site, watch the videos, verify it all. If you like what you see and you want to hear more, whether you want to hear the daily market updates I give my members, or whether you want to hear about the coins I think are going to be the winners, like I predicted with Phantom in 2020, all you've got to do to find out about that is join up on the site, guys. And if you do, I'll see you there. Otherwise, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.